Hello, Body, Mind, and Soul Connections Network. I am so excited that we get to provide you with a featured provider interview today with Liz Urbina. She is a certified nutrition coach in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I almost said British Columbia because that's where I am. And she's going to be actually on our Micro Summit coming up on body image and food relationships. So we're so excited to have you here, Liz. Thank you for being here. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm really good. I'm super honored to be in this space and to be able to participate in this upcoming Micro Summit. So thank you.
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, we're delighted to have you. It's going to be an excellent panel, but let's focus it on you. And I want you to tell us, yeah, certified nutrition coach, tell us how you came to be that. Like, how did you come to provide those services and exactly what do you do with people? Like, what's your purpose and how did you get there?
Yeah. Okay. Where do I start?
Yeah,
So,
in 3 minutes or less.
exactly. In 3 minutes or less. Well, what got me, I'm coming from an engineering background, so I spent 22 years, doing engineering, managing big budgets, making multi-million dollar decisions across three different continents. And at the same time, I was raising my son, raising my family, and I thought I got it all, perfectly figured out. Um, until I realized I didn't, right? Like things that were happening to me is I was running on caffeine. I was like, the night came and I was finding myself pouring a couple of glasses of wine every night because, I needed to unwind.
Take the edge off.
Uh,
Yeah.
I was, digging into these ice cream tubes just because I deserved it, right? And ordering takeouts more often than I should, I guess, because I was always so tired for cooking. I was exhausted, and pizza was perfect. Like, I mean, no dishes and take and leftovers for breakfast. What gets better than that, right? So, the truth is that I was running on caffeine, like I said, and I was feeling like crap. And I was surviving, not really living,
Mm.
and I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that. And the one thing that took me to my knees and made me like shook me, like life is really good at doing those things, is I was finding myself in a doctor's office to just waiting to hear the words, "You might not be able to conceive again." And that was, to say the least, like that destroyed me at the moment. Like I felt crushed. I remember my son, really wanting to have this little sister, little brother, and I was like, yeah, you are absolutely gonna have a little sister and little brother. And then, having to face him and say, "Hey, buddy, probably it's not gonna happen," it was like devastating for me. And I remember, because I was like, okay, no, this is not happening. We go into denial, we go into blaming everything outside of ourselves. That was totally me. And I found my first nutrition coach, and she told me, Liz, if you want your body to be the home for a new life, that home needs to be like the cleanest, the most harmonious, the most welcoming it could ever be.
Wow.
And heck, I didn't even like living in my body. So that was like the first time I landed into this, well, number one, self-acceptance piece. Like I really needed to make peace with my body, start seeing my body as what it is, like the vessel that is carrying me through this life for a limited time, by the way, and that all of the choices that I was making, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, were literally shaping how this body was gonna feel and how far it was gonna take me. So that was the beginning of my journey, and I wish I had someone earlier telling me how, alcohol, that nightly glass of wine, actually was making, like, accelerating my aging, not just
Right.
outside, but inside.
Well,
Like
because
my ovaries.
it's all framed as convenience and placed for us, and we're we got to go, we got to achieve, we got these like high achieving jobs with like the engineering you were doing, plus we have to be super moms, plus we have to be like all of the pieces come together, and then it becomes sort of like this juggling act, and some ball is going to drop. And I really love that
Exactly.
you realize like that out of your own experience that your there's mind, body, and soul, and body's a big piece of the things that we need to balance. And so
Exactly.
when you work with people, how do you help them tune into that, and what do you see most frequently in the people who come to you when they're in that position where they're, but I don't know how to do this when I'm doing that. Like, is that who you work with, or who do you work with, and what are they losing sleep over? And what do you tell them? What's the best thing to do?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So the women I love, 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 love working with, and actually the ones that have had the most amazing results doing this work together, are those women who are not settling, that are questioning their status quo and what everybody else is saying is normal.
Mm.
And I find this because that was me. Like, I didn't take the no, you're not gonna get pregnant for an answer. I was 34 years old, and I'm like, my coworkers are having their first baby at this age. Like, no.
Yeah, and you'd
So,
already had one,
and
so
I
that
already
is
have one.
like
So
that doesn't quite.
what happened, right? Like, what happened within this time? So the woman who is questioning their status quo, who is not taking, the typical rhetoric of, well, it's just menopause, it's just, it's just that we get bloated, it's just aging, it's just the way it is. And they are also feeling that there are some things that are not working out with themselves that probably used to work, like, especially when we hit, our late 30s, our 40s, we start like realizing that the old way of doing things is no longer working for us. In term not And I'm not just talking about weight. I'm talking about our energy, I'm talking about our skin, I'm talking about the way we think and we can process stuff and manage, all of the different stressors that we have in life. Like, we all of a sudden start losing this resiliency. And it's like, okay, who am I, right? The woman who is staring in the front of a mirror and saying, who are you? And what did you do with me, with my own me, right?
Where did I go?
Exactly. And so these women are usually struggling. Of course, the weight is one of the number one things that make us like, oh, wait a second, something is going sideways here. But more than that, they are struggling usually with digestive issues like bloating. Constipation is a huge, huge one that a lot of women tend to believe, or even their doctors tell them, oh, don't worry about it. That's normal. It is not normal. So, bloating, constipation, acid reflux, like constantly having all of these issues. Women who are struggling with starting seeing their cholesterol levels, their blood sugar levels, their blood pressure going on the wrong direction when they didn't have ever had those problems before, right? And even women who are having these really life disrupting menopause symptoms, like perimenopause or menopause symptoms, like aches and pains everywhere, and problems with sleeping. Like, I'm not saying this is gonna you know cure all of that, but it's a huge foundation. Like, once we start moving from surviving and from numbing to nurturing ourselves, like that
Ah.
shift is dramatic.
Well, I think that really fits well with our body image and food relationships micro summit because it is about, okay, we kind of, it's not like we took it for granted, but it's sort of like our bodies did our thing until a certain age, and all of a sudden it's not doing the same thing anymore. And so you're sort of like, well, okay, well, what? Clearly there were some micro shifts along the way. And how do we micro shift our way back into that, right? So what are
Exactly.
some of the micro shifts that you recommend, just right now, to give people who are struggling with these things some quick value about, what they should do aside from calling you to get a consult? What's the top tip you end up giving, say for constipation or for one of those key issues?
I always start, well, number one, I am, my business is called Diet Free Conscious Eating for a reason. Like I do not like the restriction, dieting, none of that. I always ask my clients or the people who want to work with me, what do you enjoy? What do you love? What is like the thing that makes you feel good? And so I help women to start reconnecting with those things
Mm.
because a lot of time we kind of stop doing the things that make us feel good. For one, like if you think about it, okay, what does that have to do with nutrition? Well, when you feel good, when you eat calmly, when you slow down and take a deep breath before
Mm.
even start putting something in your mouth, your body is in a total different capacity to process things and to absorb the nutrients, and
Wow.
you will feel the difference. So that's why sometimes I don't start talking about the food right away. It's like, okay, let's look at your life and what are the things that we can incorporate so that whatever it is you're eating, because a lot of these women are like, I'm eating all of the right things and
Right.
I'm still not feeling well. And one
Okay.
of the things I tell them is, you are not what you eat, you are what you absorb. So that is the
Mm.
key thing. So for improving this absorption, and it all starts, with our gut microbiome and all of that, we are holistic beings. So we have to kind of create that good and absorption environment. So
That's
I talk
amazing.
a lot about lifestyle stuff and how we eat
Right.
before we start talking about what do you eat,
That makes so much sense to me because, like you say, the absorption thing, and then, what kind of state are you in when you're absorbing? Because, the first thing to go is, my preferences, right? When you're a busy mom with the job, serving the boss, and doing the things, and you're like, okay, I'll do my stuff later, and that pushing aside of our needs and disaligns our body, mind, and soul. And so it doesn't take advantage. That's really, really interesting. I love that. Okay, so when you work with people, how do you do that? Is that like in a group format or one-to-one, or what kind of offerings do you have? Do you have on-demand stuff? How do people work with you?
I love working one-on-one because I truly believe that we are all unique. There is no one single diet that works for everybody. That doesn't exist. We all have unique microbiomes, unique social, cultural background. We have our unique likes and dislikes to begin with, things that we have available near us, that we live in unique family situations. One of the things I tell my clients is like, I don't want you, like you're busy, you're doing a 3 zillion things. I don't want you to have to cook for yourself and another thing, catering for someone else, for your kids or for your family. No, like I want you to bring along the whole crew that you have in your home. So, and what a best gift than doing that, that bringing along everybody. And
Right?
it's just the way I did it too. So, and it works so well. And
Well, and
so,
and you're that leader in the family, that you show leadership that way when you
exactly.
model self-care and centeredness. Your household is going to be calmer, and that's such a uh, fantastic gift
Absolutely.
to bring. Well, and as somebody who is that, focused engineer A type person that you are, um, I know that you apply those things to, developing your business as well as, serving your clients and the people who you work with one to one. When you've developed, as you've come through your personal journey that inspired you to do this and get certified and to move into this from a completely different science, math-based kind of brain area, surely there were things that in your journey as a wellness provider and entrepreneur that you found out that you needed there too. So if you were talking to somebody who was a wellness provider wanting to serve people who were struggling with their business, what was the biggest struggle that you had in starting your coaching business, and what advice would you give to a new wellness entrepreneur? Just because in the group here we connect wellness entrepreneurs and the wellness seekers.
Yeah. I love this question. The first barrier I think I found was this, I think it's called self-doubt. Some people call it
Imposter
self-doubt, some
syndrome.
people call it imposter syndrome. That's the one I was looking for. I was totally like that. Who am I to do this? Kind of like it had to work really hard to get over myself, to stay away from my own route, from my own way to start doing this. And one of the things I have come to terms is like, well, number one, in terms of science and being a science girl, like I was like, holy cow, like there's so much, and it's so much is emerging, and we know new things every time and every year. It's hard to even keep up with it. So I was so afraid to tell somebody, oh, do this, and then all of a sudden tomorrow is like, oh no, that's not the way to go anymore. And so that fear of giving the wrong advice, of telling people the wrong thing, the way I work it with is number one, full transparency. Like I said, there is no such thing as a single diet for everyone, the best diet for everyone. Everyone is unique and different, and the best data is your own body's feedback. And that's what I use first, even before science, because science tells you, oh, you know what? Broccoli is great for everybody should be eating broccoli. And all of a sudden, I have somebody who has IBS and cannot digest broccoli. And like, how am I
What
going to
now?
force her? Exactly. So that is why I think one of the foundational skills that I work with my clients is listening to our bodies,
Mhm.
listening to our own body's messages, which
And
is
I
talking to us 24/7, by the way.
and I think that applies in business because if we're entrepreneurs serving, like there's the piece about focusing in on serving your client, listening to them, and really providing something that transforms their lives as value for them to pay you. And then, but to do that, you have to be centered in yourself and listen to yourself as a business person. Okay, I do know I am here for a purpose. I do know what I want, and it's okay. And then if for example in our provider business circle, we can bolster you with the things like tech support and confidence in speaking on camera and lead generation and event development and sales conversions and all of those kind of like business stuff that isn't necessarily why you want to do what you do, but are the things that will let you do what you need to do as your purpose. So
Exactly.
I'm so glad that you're following your passion and applying that amazing brain engineering brain of yours and analysis of your clients. So folks, if you have resonated with Liz here and want that focused, customized one-on-one approach, because cookie cutters don't always cut. Make sure that you get a hold of Liz, and we'll make sure that she drops her links in the comments here. And we are so excited to have Liz on our upcoming March 8th Micro Summit on body image and food. What are you looking forward to about the Micro Summit, Liz?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm always curious about what everyone else's perspective is. It's like it brings a total new way of looking at things, so that's always exciting. And also, sharing about a few things, like a few start boosting beliefs about our bodies, ourselves, how we work, how we age. One of the things I love telling my clients is, aging is inevitable, but decline is optional.
Yeah,
So
just one of the nuggets we're going to hear at the Micro Summit. And actually,
exactly.
you guys, if you want one of those sessions where a kind of a peek into the session with Liz, Liz has offered. Well, first we have the VIP session at the end of the live stream. So if you want to join our VIP session, get time with Liz to talk about your problems in every VIP session at the end of a Micro Summit. It's like an hour afterwards with all the panelists, and it's like an interdisciplinary team, triage on your questions. So you bring your question, and all of the panelists answer. Plus, you get access to our Wellness Connection portal and ability to see all of the information, which has our treasure trove in, and all of our speakers, not just from this conference, the Micro Summit, but also from all of the ones in the past. And there's quite a few. I think there's like $7,500 worth of gifts in there, including Liz's gift. Liz, do you want to tell us what your giveaway was for the treasure trove for Micro Summit?
Absolutely. It's a tool that I give my clients only, and is a guide with the 3 foods that every woman over 40 should be including in their daily nutrition, and the 3 foods that you should stay away from. So, and I share in there also that the recipes, like simple, delicious recipes to incorporate those foods easily in your life. And this is for gut health, for brain health, for metabolism boosting. Like,
Oh,
it's really good. It's
uh,
really practical.
this is like the engineering approach to food. I love it. Thank you. So if you want that gift from Liz, that'll be included along with all the other gifts in the treasure trove as part of your VIP ticket. Plus, you'll get access to Liv and all the recordings from all of things past, and our Wellness Connection portal for a month. So we're just hoping that you join us either way, live stream in the Facebook community or in the Zoom room directly with the speakers, and then staying on for an hour afterwards for your private session. We're excited for seeing you at the Micro Summit. So thank you so much for being with us, Liz. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. This was so fun.
Okay, take care. Bye. Okay. Woohoo!
Ooh,